Polite inquiries, Adelaide Oval. Gitter says, did Clarkie's innings today have the feel of a swan song?
A swan song? Well, he didn't move as gracefully.
I think swan song means the end.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't mean he moved gracefully like a swan.
I don't think that's what he means.
Because he didn't.
No, unless the swan was wounded. He will bat on. I think he will at least play to the end of the series if he can get out for the other test. I'd be very surprised if he retired now with the World Cup and an Ashes coming up.
I don't think he'll retire unless he's dragged, kicking and screaming at this point, because he's still got so much to offer.
Didrak says, has India been psychologically beaten by an aggressive Australian batting lineup?
I think they may have been psychologically beaten by their own mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think you can really blame that. I mean, they bowled bad line and length. They were sort of beaten by just mistakes. They wanted to bowl straight to Warner yesterday. They didn't do it today. I honestly couldn't tell you what their plans were for most of the day. They were just hoping. In the end, it was, we might as well just drop them. They'll get to the declaration quicker.
Well, a lot of the Indian guys are saying as well, the Indian journos have been saying, everyone criticises Dhoni for being too conservative, but actually the reason he's conservative is because he knows the bowlers don't have the ability to do what he wants them to do.
Yeah. Matthew says, is Steve Smith the new Chanda ball? Techniques that work but can never be replicated.
Who knows what Steve Smith is? Steve Smith's everything. Steve Smith would be a great rally driver.
Steve Smith is everything!
Well, he can...
A rally driver. Tell me about this rally driver theory.
Because he can change gears like nobody else. He got to 100 quite stylishly and then he just went nuts, and that's Steve Smith. I love it. He can change gears, and I tell you why I hope he is like Chanderpaul, because I want him to be playing international cricket when he's 40.
I think he's better to watch, let's be fair. Sarant says, would you like to see those Mitch Johnson thunderbolts after what's happened recently? Well, I think we have to. We have to see this happening, because this is what cricket is. We can't suddenly pretend that it's something else. You know, even if someone has died, we can't suddenly change the entire way the game is played. And so far, we haven't done that. It was great to see the India come around the wicket and try and bounce Michael Clarke when he was going for his 100.
Yeah, that was incredibly dramatic. But also, I think, well, that was Aaron who bowled those 2 bouncers to Michael Clarke. And Aaron was the one who bowled the first bouncer of the match. And in a way, I think Aaron's taken one for the fast bowling team, because in a way he's made it easier for the likes of Mitch and Ryan Harris to come out and bowl as aggressively as they like.
Jerry says, if Clarke can't continue, does Bailey get a look in as fill-in captain? How can he? Because Ed Cowan's going to captain them instead.
Ed Cowan's going to do everything, isn't he?
And keep and open the bowling.
No, Brad Haddon, captain.
Steve Smith, captain.
5 captain.
Bushan says, Dhoni must be giggling and tickling himself. I really hope he is. Saha missing the stumping. Same old story of waiting for a declaration. Well, he has missed what, let's be honest, I don't think had Dhoni been there, anything would have massively changed. I mean, no one's really thinking that Saha is the answer to the wicket-keeping question. He's not knocking on Dhoni's door or anything. Dhoni will probably play as long as he wants to regardless, so I doubt he's giggling or tickling.
The other Indians have dropped quite a few catches, so can't really just blame him for those missed chances.
Yeah, at what stage did he stop giggling, I think would be the question. Punj says, after the horrible batting performance against Pakistan, is this improved Australian batting or poor Indian bowling? Look, there's one thing you have to remember about Australians, is they know how to bat right here. At Adelaide especially, but in general. So it's a lot of different things. Mostly it's hormonal.
Definitely the conditions are made. This is what Australians bat like in Australia for sure. But
India have helped.
Yeah, they've helped.
They were certainly helping at the end, but they couldn't take a catch or stumping or anything. James Maxwell says, should umpires wear helmets? Gould ducking for cover.
Oh yeah, that was Steve Smith was going a bit crazy, and
well, Smith had to apologise to a bowler. I think we're in the new version of cricket here, when you've literally got a batsman apologising to a bowler for hitting the ball so hard. But
the number of times that we've seen umpires ducking and diving, I actually think that could be a good shout. I have one desire though. If they do, I'd like them to wear little helmets with horns on, like Vikings. You get extra points if you can smash the ball through the middle of them.
They call them runs. Kamal says, would it be wise for India to pull off a West Indies and just cancel this tour for pride's sake?
Yes, because...
I don't think West Indies did it for pride's sake. I think they did it for financial sake. But
but no, that's brilliant. That's brilliant, because then Australia can sue the BCCI, and because Australia is so magnanimous, they could then give that money to the West Indies to pay the BCCI for that cancelled tour. So then everyone's happy.
Everybody wins.
It worked. I should run cricket, seriously.
Someone has to. Satyajit says, What does Devereaux mean? Sex kitten.
I can't really go past that.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Ninab says, love your hair, what happened to your cap?
Is that for me? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kidnapped by George Dobell, my cap. And Michael Penhale says, Mal, do you secretly wish you debuted with George Dobell?
There's no secret about that. No. I mean, really, I'm just like George Dobell, but he's prettier and smarter and funnier, isn't he?
In every way. We'll see you tomorrow.